Okay. So,
Spend your skill points.
we have entered the first tutorial where there is 5 champions in 3 lands. So, first off, I'm gonna start by saying I'm gonna play Brand, because Brand is cool. Secondly, you should identify your goals as soon as possible with what kind of champions you want to play. So,
There are 3 lanes
champions like Brand are what's known as like battle mages or like control mages because they control space. They like to team fight, so to speak. They can be pretty devastating in like the jungle because of the corridors and shit. They have lots of AoE.
Stay close to the battle to earn experience
Champions
points.
like this tend to not have mobility, unfortunately, so they tend to be rather reliant on walking in circles, which kind of sucks. But you have the added benefit when you play a champion like Brand of doing enough damage to usually defend yourself, so people like F off if you throw spells at them. One thing that a lot of like newer players forget is that champions like Brand still can auto attack, and they have like pretty good auto attack frames, especially recently, because Riot made them really good. So your auto attacks are actually pretty decent early game at harassing opponents, and also you should try to only use your spells on opponents unless like you have a reason to be farming with your spell. If you don't have a reason to be farming with your spell, you should try your best to last hit these minions to get the gold with your auto attacks. So that way you have more, you know, freedom to express yourself upon the enemy's health bar. Because that's what League of Legends is about, right? Fighting people, I swear. It's definitely not about all this other stuff that you do the entire game that makes you win the game. So in line with the last video that I should have uploaded, hopefully, figuring out what binds is comfortable for you is super important. You should go into player movement, you should figure out what all of this does at least once. You should just like find out. Just hit a bunch of buttons, see what happens. You know, call it a day. And then because there's so many like bind options in this game, it can be a little overwhelming. The last video should have gone over all the things that like matter. Other than like the interface, which the interface is kind of important. You should put your HUD scale all the way down because it takes a bunch of space. You don't need this much space taken up. Just put it 0. Cursor scale, I run it at 0. You can run it at whatever is visible for you. And then in here, there's also auto attacks in your game. You want to turn this off. And now you won't auto attack if you stand around minions, which is super weird that it's automatically on because it's kind of a bad setting in a lot of cases, but it makes sense. Because, like, some people want it on. I do not. So, now that we have that off, now my champion will just stand there and do nothing, which is very useful for a lot of, like, strategic reasons. But, you know, not the most useful in the tutorial when we're trying to make sure everything is taken care of. You should just mess with this. So you can do fixed. Fixed puts it here. Per side offset puts it offset per side. Semi-locked makes it to where you can move around. Semi-locked around your camera. Kind of useful. I use pre-side offset. And I have for like years, so I'm never changing it. I'm good. There's some champions who want to use specifically different ones though. So keep that in mind. And also, remember the goal of League of Legends is to destroy this crystal. So, if you're not trying to do that, you know, aren't really trying to win. Oh, another interesting feature, it's hard to show versus bots, of A-Click, is if I A-click into this bush and someone's in here, I'll instantly start auto-attacking them. The second I have vision of them, which is extremely good, because like often you'll have players who know that you don't know how to A-click, juke you, and it's just because they know you don't know how to do it. But if you A-click, they won't ever juke you.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Fire's vengeance.
So
minion camps have been on both sides of the map.
I'm going to end this because I've covered everything I wanted to in this, to be honest, very briefly. So